changes are completed, the car blasts back onto the circuit. The classes, well, there is the overall situation, which is the pros, then the Silver Cup, and there is Pro-Am. It means that everybody has something to fight for, and if you're an Am, you've still got a chance of going home having been on the top step of the This weekend, 26 cars from 6 manufacturers, Audi, Ferrari, Lamborghini, McLaren, Mercedes and Porsche on the grid. Panasonic GT World Championship on Monday. Led by Mercedes, AMG, Audi Sport and then Ferrari. The grid is forming then as the cars make their way from the long pit lane round onto the circuits. It's not the sunniest of days, but it's dry, it's warm, and the teams are about to do battle in this penultimate 60-minute race. It could be that the championship overall is decided in this race if the number 32 Audi can outscore the Akonis ASP Mercedes by a further 6 points. They've moved it out of reach going into tomorrow's race. But John Watson, anything can happen in the championship, as we saw in the endurance race 2 weeks ago at Hockenheim.
Well, it's a busy little racetrack. It's 4 kilometres, 2.5 miles approximately, 14 corners, and there's a lot of the racetrack which is open to track limited use, and there's been a lot of drivers have been penalised at times, removed from qualifying this morning as a consequence of this track limited use. So that's something that can have a potential add-on penalty at the end of the racetrack. Mainly, around 61 is gone, 62 goals, main 14 turn. Key to this racetrack is it's a circuit for motorcycles. So all the entry curves and all the exit curves are virtually flat, and that's where we get this introduction of track limited use coming from. So everybody is aware of it. That information to try and improve himself.
And he has improved, and the pace has been pretty good. So let's see what he can do in this final race of sprint racing. Right now, Timo Rokoslawski penalty this morning for blocking another car. He will start 20th in the championship to win. He's the jump start.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to SimPlay Motorsport as we are in our final week of racing this week. We are here at the final round of the championship, a brand new circuit here to SimPlay Motorsport, and not obviously a brand new circuit to most ACC drivers, but definitely for these guys. We are live here at Valencia for the final round of the GT4 and GT3 championship, and what a week we have in store for you guys. There is 2 championships still yet for grabs this week, and we start things off with the first one here tonight. We are here doing the GT4 championship first things first, where 3 drivers are up for the title. Technically there is 4, but Richard Beasley really could do with literally none of the drivers turning up, but in this case they have all turned up, and yeah, it's very much an outside chance for him this evening. But there's definitely 4 drivers up for the title here this evening. Before we get into that though, please can I have a like on the stream, subscribe to the channel as well, and hit that bell to be notified so you don't miss any of the action this week here, as we have got a dramatic racing ahead of this week. We've got beautiful sunshine for pretty much the entire week here in Spain, and we are looking forward to some great action from the GT4s here this evening, and obviously the GT3s will make their return as well tomorrow night for the Pro-Am, for their final race of the season, and also for the pros. Pro-Am is pretty much done and dusted, including drivers and constructors. It is just the final few positions then to final out. But for GT4, like I said, 3 drivers in for the title. So have a run through the drivers that are here tonight. We've got Kieran O'Reilly returning once again. He's been in a row of form here in these GT4s, and it's nice to see he's been doing so well. And he's also been doing very well in the Pro category, nearly getting the Mustang its first win on last Thursday night. Richard Beasley, like I said, 4th man in the championship, very unlikely to win the title, but he's here just to come out with a bang to finish the season on a high. Then we've got Skunky High, 3rd on the tables at this minute, and once again another dominant run for him earlier on in the year, and he's back once again here at Valencia to see what he can do. Tim Venting was up for the title earlier on in the season, but obviously due to missing a couple of rounds he has missed out, and obviously will just go out for glory here this evening. Then we've got Nuclear Waste also here this evening, returning back once again with his good friend Sam out on track, both of them running the FBR colours as well, with the other FBR driver of S2M Burbex and P. Raiden, Phil Raiden, all join us here tonight. And as you notice, I've possibly skipped a couple of cars. We look to the number 24, your championship leader, Sky Schondelmeyer, leading the way, and he has a chance to win the GT4 title. We came close, racing myself and Fury back in the Chevrolet Camaro, but now he's in the Aston Martin and looks very good to try and win the title here. Then we got his next closest rival, which we cannot see from this angle, but we do know he's there. It is Matthew Duffin, who is the other contender here, 2nd in the championship at the minute, and looking to possibly try and steal the points right at the very end. A big, powerful circuit, so the Ginetta might struggle around here. And the final car and the final driver here tonight, up for 2 championships this week, it is Jamal Clouden. Firstly, it is here in the GT4s, and then it will be at the GT3s later on this week against myself, as we've just lost Jamal Clouden there by the looks of things. So hopefully he'll get himself back into the server. But nonetheless, they are your championship contenders, and first things first, Jamal probably wouldn't want that to go that way, as like I said, he's just randomly vanished. There is a poll currently going at the minute on the channel, and it's currently down to you guys to vote on who you think will be champion here tonight. Is it going to be Sky, is it going to be Clouden, or is it going to be Matthew Duffin? That is the question. And just so you guys can see as well, that's where the championship standings at the minute. It is Sky Schondelmeyer leading the way at the minute, with obviously Matthew Duffin in 2nd. 3rd is Jamal Clouden. 4th is Richard Beasley. 5th is S2M Burbex, and in 6th is Tim Venting. Max Mulder in 7th. 8th is Sam. 9th is Holling, and 10th is Kieran O'Reilly. Then it comes Barrett in 11th place position, with Raiden in 12th. Skunky High in 13th place position, with DJ Phil not here this week, on holiday I believe in that 14th place position. Then it's Senna in 15th, 16th is Gary Leach, and 17th is Darren Bell, 18th is Nuclear Waste, 19th is John Goudet, 20th is Coin Coupiers, and then 21st is Ian Gray. Janetta of Kimberley in 22nd, Dizzle in 23rd, Michael in 24th, with Smoky Devil 25th, Cardoff in 26th, and Dean Wasaki bringing up the rear in 27th place position. That is your championship contenders, and there's 113 points available here tonight, and like I said, Richard Beasley is 105 away. He is mathematically still in it, but with all of them turning up tonight, he is pretty much out for the hunt. Regarding the grid, it looks like this for the reverse grid. If all drivers get in, we're expecting Romeo here this evening. He would start on pole position with Nuclear Waste in second, with Skunky High sitting in that P3 position. P4 would be Raiden, P5 will be Barrett, P6 will be Riley, P7 will be Sam, P8 will be Bentink, P9 will be Esteban Burbex, 10th would be Richard Beasley, 11th would be Cloud, and 12th would be Duffin and Sky Shundelmeyer in 13th place position, starting at the back, of course. Gary Leach possibly could make it, but we will see a little bit later on if he does or does not make it into the session. And regarding your weights, it looks like this. Sky Shundelmeyer will be carrying the full ballast, as I just realised I've still got the tables up. Let's get rid of that. There we go, and let's get the ballast on your screen as well. So as I was saying, Sky Shundelmeyer will be carrying the full weight. He'll be starting with 40 kilos, well, finishing the season with 40 kilos. Matthew Duffin with 35, Clouden with 30, Beasley 25, Esteban Burbex 20, Bentink 15, Mulder, if he was here, would have been 10th, and Sam with 5 kilos. Now, as the drivers have told me, the weight has been making an effect. And as you can see, it already has started to make an effect, as O'Reilly and Beasley looking pretty good at the minute at the top, with Skunky High as well in third. These two have not had weight all season long, and they've been looking pretty quick all night. We've got Sky Shundelmeyer sitting in P4, with Ventink in 5th, and Duffin out on track at the minute, who's currently 1.3 off the pace at the minute, but he's pretty sure he's not done qualifying pace at this stage. Skeletor in the chat said, message Cowden, he suddenly left PS chat as well. His internet just went. Okay, so fingers crossed he should be able to make it into the session. But he's still got time, so hopefully his internet should come back online. But nonetheless, it'd be a shame if Clouden loses it out here. But hopefully he should be able to get in. It's like 2 minutes left, so it takes a minute or two for the game to load up, get the password in, and on he gets. As I see a spike in the server, so that usually tends to mean a car is joining the session. And there we go. Jamal Clouden is back into the server. Thank you, Skeletor, for telling me that he is in. A quick chat of the circuit here, Valencia Community Motorcycle Grand Prix. I don't know its actual name. Normally it tells me on here. Nope. So I might have to do some research myself. He's loading up. Yep, we've got him in. Good evening, PN, as well. Good evening, everyone. Let's hear from you in the chat and supporting your drivers here this evening. And that's just trying to get some little bit of information about this circuit, because it's not much about this circuit at all, really. I need to know the track name, to be honest. Yeah, nonetheless, this circuit has been added to the server. It's been added to the game a while back. Actually, it's been on the game for at least since April 19th, I believe. And the circuit is very tricky. I got it. The circuit Ricardo Tromo in Valencia is the name of the circuit. So I will get the correct information eventually. But it's a very tricky circuit to get right. Obviously, like I said, it's primarily a bike circuit. It's a bike circuit, and the corners are a little bit different, obviously a little bit obscure. The corners tend to be more flowing for bikes, so the open corners a lot more difficult for at least GT cars to get around here. And I've finally got some information on this circuit. Finally. The circuit was built back in 1999, so it's still a relatively new circuit, to be fair, and it has obviously produced some great talent in the Spanish driving and bike era, as Skunky Kai goes fastest of them all. And it is the circuit is named after Ricardo Tormo. I'm going to go with that, which was a two-time 50cc motorbike world champion, and he had a career in motorbikes for quite a while, and it was cut short, sadly, from a tragic accident back in 1984. So this circuit has been named after him, and like I said, it's primarily a bike circuit. And we've seen all sorts of different championships come here. Obviously, the famous one is MotoGPs and World Superbike, but they have had GP2, DTM, World Touring Car, and the World Series by Renault as well. So there's been a few cars here that have been testing around here, and obviously popular for Formula One to test around here due to the nature of the warmer conditions. The circuit itself, the one we're running, which is the full Grand Prix, it is 2.4 miles long, and in kilometers that is 4.0 kilometers long. And that's a quick rundown of the circuit. It is an FIA Grade 1, and by the list of things, we are only going to get 11 drivers in for this first race. And like I said, guys, get your votes in on who you think is going to be champion. Hello, Tracy, in the chat. Hi, everyone. Happy racing. And it is happy racing, but sadly, it's going to be a sad week, though, Tracy. Yes, we're going to be crowning some champions here tonight, but also it is coming to the end of this season, as we will have our 5-week break. We will be having a Nations Cup event on GT7 in the off break, but we will also have an endurance race coming up later on this season as well in the off season. But nonetheless, we will be back in October for the
20 seconds.
New season 6. For the GT3s, and possibly the GT4s may make a return, who knows. But it looks like we are missing a car again, and I think we've still got our championship contenders. That's the main thing. I know there's a car missing there. That would have been the car that would have been on pole position would have been Romeo. Romeo's not made it. There's also another car in between. That would have been Max Mulder as well. But we got ourselves underway here, ready to go racing here tonight. So Nuclear Way starts on pole position. And as I look in the chat, Yoshi, yeah, the endurance race in Spa has the man who does all the commentating for us for that one. And I bet he's looking forward to that one. And like Tracy says, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Get your votes in on who you think is going to win this title. It's even Stevens between Matthew Duffin and Jamal Clouden at the minute. But it's also Sky Schondermeyer still in this championship. He is your championship contender. As we look to the back of the grid, all of these guys, these three in particular, are going for the title. All eyes will be on them. It is going to be interesting to see. I'm going to try my very best to keep on top of what's happening in the title. I'll be having all my points ready to figure out here. As I think Matt has already tried clearing some of this for me. So... yeah, we got Raider, we got Scott Schondelmeyer, Skunky High, no Sully, O'Reilly. Like I said, this is going to be it's going to be very fast. I'm going to be struggling my absolute damnedest to try and stay on top of what's happening. Yeah, get behind these guys, support them. If you're Team Duffin, let's see in the chat. Team Duffin. If you are Team Schondermeyer, let's hear you in the chat. And if you're Team Clouden as well, please let's hear from you guys as they now go into a 2x2 formation. It's only been a short season for these cars, but it's been a dramatic season nonetheless. The GT4s have been amazing and we've missed them, and it's been great having them back. It is a Ginetta and an Aston Martin on the front row. But who is it going to be? Is it going to be British? Is it going to be Welsh? Or is it going to be an American title? It is down to this, as we're about to go green here at Valencia.
Green light, green light.
We are green and go here at Valencia for the first time this week and final time this season. And down towards turn 1 we go, and Phil Radin looking good on the inside, but it's going to be Skunky High who swoops round the outside of turn 1, and they'll lead into turn 2. As they head up towards turn 2 now, I can't see very much as all cars have just started to fan into position, and we see there Sam getting very close to some cars as Sky Schondermeyer's got a lot of weight and a lot of pace to catch up, but Clouden already clearing a lot of cars while his championship contenders are busy trying to work their way through the pack. Meanwhile, Radin dropping to the back of the pack, wants nothing to do with this. Tim Ventink wants to finish the season off on a high, and he's up towards the front into second place already. The cameras here aren't particularly good, so might have to change the cameras here for this one, but nonetheless, we are underway here and racing. And Matthew Duffin at the minute got a car between him and Clouden. S2M Burbex is just in between. Now Sam has dropped behind Clouden. Clouden's on the move in the BMW. He is a man on a mission, and he wants to win this title. As they go into the middle sector, a very, very fast flowing track here, and Clouden still the leading car at the minute from the championship contenders. He's got the next Aston Martin to try and clear, as Kieran O'Reilly in second, losing a little bit of pace to Skunky High, and Tim Ventink sticking with him. Beasley in third. Then it's going to be Nuclear Waste, Clouden, S2M Burbex, Duffin, Sam, Schondermeyer, and then Radin. But Schondermeyer down the inside, that's a position gain on Sam, and ahead and just behind one of his championship contenders. Meanwhile, Skunky High pulling away. Tim Ventink though looking to make some moves into second place on the grid. But again, like I said, we're going to be keeping an eye on the championship contenders. Clouden at the minute in sixth. We were late for the race to kind of pan out a little bit more so we can keep an eye on what's happening in the title. But Clouden making another move on Nuclear Waste. While he's doing that, Matthew Duffin makes a move himself on S2M Burbex, and that's also allowed Sky Schondermeyer to come through on S2M Burbex, and Burbex stays up the inside though, but Sky will get the swoop, and he does, but Clouden's run wide, and that's given an opportunity for Matt to go up the inside. The Ginetta much more agile, gets the job done, but the BMW power will kick in. As we've got this gaggle of cars, the front leader's already gone, and Matt and Clouden are rubbing. Clouden pushing Matthew Duffin off, but Matt comes back out on track, right in front of Jamal Clouden. You can see the BMW power, but Matt's going to try and hold it strong around the outsides if he possibly can. But he can't seem to do so. Sky Schondermeyer right there and watching his championship contenders. The FBR boys are right there as well, but they don't know if they want to get involved in this. Clouden goes wide, he's gone deep and he's lost positions. And the FBR boys right there. Meanwhile, Beasley and Ventink are still trying to hustle the back of O'Reilly. Duffin now clearing his championship contenders as their Nuclear Waste has a moment, and Sky and Clouden split him. And Sky goes up the inside. Clouden can't quite get the job done as Sky's got damage on the front end of his car. And now S2M Burbex sends it up the inside. Clouden in all sorts of strays here. He's under pressure from all the FBR cars. And they head down towards straight. Tracy saying in the chat, let's go Sky. And Yoshi says hashtag Team Duffin. So we got our supporters here as they go through the first couple of corners. But meanwhile, your leader Skunky High pulling away. O'Reilly setting fastest lap, but he's got Tim Ventink right behind him, looking to possibly try and make a move through if he possibly can. But he's got Beasley not too far behind. Duffin up into fifth, Sky Schondermeyer sixth, and now Clouden seventh. While Nuclear Waste is ahead of S2M Burbex, and the FBR boys just seem to just have no answer at the minute. but into the middle sector they go. We look to this fight at the minute with O'Reilly and Venting. Yes, the championship's on, but at the same time there's more fights going on track, and Venting looking for an opportunity to try and find a way past the Ginetta, but can't seem to find to do it at this stage. Meanwhile, Duffin has got Sky Schundermeyer breathing down his neck, and what Clouden could do with right now is these two to come together so that he could try and benefit from it. We go back to the fight for second and third, and at the minute Beasley is actually coming back to attack Venting now. And Venting looking for an opportunity to work his way through, but at the minute he can't seem to find a gap, nor can Beasley. Big open circuit, but it's difficult to get past. As Sky Schundermeyer looks to the outside, and Matt gives him a shove. So mate, you want to win this championship, you've got to work it the hard way. And down the main straight, there you go. Sky Schundermeyer being shown the door. And Matt now just ahead of his championship contenders. Meanwhile, just behind them, Esteban Burbex is under pressure from Sam, who looked up the inside, but can't do nothing about it. Your top three, though. Sorry. Your leader, Skunky High, with the fastest lap, but in third, for the battle for second, third, and fourth, Riley, Ventic, and Beasley is still very close to one another. But this is for the championship right here. All three drivers with one another at the minute. Matthew Duffing leading this fight. Matt with gained points on Schundermeyer, but not by much. Clouden, the biggest loser in all this. He's got the most to climb. He needs to be in front of the pair of them. O'Reilly still absorbing all this pressure from the two Aston Martins behind. And at the minute, O'Reilly's doing a fantastic job of doing that. Beasley as well, just waited for that crack to appear, not just from O'Reilly, but from Venting as well. Duffin's still ahead of this train. Matt is just a Jason Plato right now, just parking the car exactly where it needs to be, and then holding up the rest of the pack as they head towards this tricky final sector. Matt has a snap, and Clouden runs wide as they head up towards the final few corners. And again, nothing really changed here. We'll go back to this fight, and Sky looking to defend, looking to attack the inside, and Clouden's under pressure from the FBR boys. They don't care. They want to get in and have a fight. And as you can see there, Nuclear Waste passing Jamal Clouden. So Clouden having his own problem right now of dealing with the FBR duo, while his championship contenders are battling it out in front of him. So Jamal Clouden now really has to pay attention to what's going on in front. And Sky looks to the inside of turn 2, but can't find a good enough opening. Keep it clean, boys. We don't want this championship to end on a steward's decision. A Skunky High pulling away not even more. He's kind of kept the gap at the minute. So O'Reilly seems to be in a bit of a rhythm at the minute, pulling away from Venting and Beasley. Duffin, though, still under some immense pressure from his championship contenders. The top three seem to have actually pulled ever so slightly away from the FBR trio as I sit right behind them. So at any point, these FBR boys could really spoil the party here, as Sky once again can't seem to find a way through on Matthew Duffin at this stage. And Clouden needs to pass the pair of them. And the BSP Esports boys in the chat say, come on Sky, with all the pink hearts. Really supporting their driver here, their other driver at the minute, Tim Venting, up into third place position, and can't seem to do anything about O'Reilly at the minute. But Sky once again seems to have a great run up towards the final corner, and he's going to have to be brave. He's going to have to try and do it around the outside, be braver on the brakes. He's going to give it a good go. He runs wide, and once again Matt just not allowing him back on track. And Jamal Clouden now attacking as well, so here we go. Who does he defend against? It's Jamal Clouden and Matthew Duffin and Sky Schundermeyer, and Clouden up the inside, being patient, and he gets the job done. And Sky now works his way trying to pass Matthew Duffin, but still can't find a way through. And in all this, Nuclear Waste gets involved. And Sky and then Jamal Clouden goes and messes up and runs wide in turn 2. So your championship contenders going at it tooth and nail, no inch given. And Sky is up the inside. And again, can't quite get far enough alongside on a Ginetta. Clouden had taken the advantage and then dropped it in the second corner, running wide. Matthew defending for his life, like this is the ultimate championship. And in the Ginetta, he's doing everything he possibly can. As S2M Burbex has a moment all on his own, and he now drops out of this. So, like I said, I'm going to try and keep an update on what is happening in the championship right now. We are halfway through this race. And this is really going to confuse the hell out of me. So if it was stand like this, Matthew Duffin would go into the last race 2 points ahead of Sky Shondermeyer, and Clouden would only be 8 behind. So it's still up for grabs there, and Clouden now looks to make a move on Shondermeyer, but that BMW's got so much more grunt in a straight line, and it's got the less weight of the 3. So Clouden should be able to get up the inside of Sky into turn 1 relatively easy, and he does so. But Clouden runs wide. That's going to be a track limits warning, that is for sure. And is Sky looking up the inside again? No, he thinks better of it and waits. Maybe it's now time to allow him to go and attack Duffin, and he can prize his way past. Meanwhile, Tim Ventink has caught O'Reilly once again, as they're all just kind of stayed quite stable at the front, other than Ventink catching him a little bit. But Duffin, Clouden, and Shondermeyer all going at it for this title. And again, if it were to change like this, Matthew Duffin would be 5 points ahead of Shondermeyer, but Shondermeyer's coming back at Clouden, and they don't make contact. How they don't make contact, I do not know. And Sky gets back in front. So Sky once again only will be 2 points behind Matthew Duffin. It is going right down to the wire, this one. But Matthew Duffin at the minute in the advantage. Some brilliant racing. Meanwhile, Ventink is still trying to hustle the back of O'Reilly, but can't seem to do anything. These 4 have just upped and gone and disappeared into the race. And Sky Shondermeyer now trying to reframe and come back at Duffin, but once again he's had a bad exit, and Clouden in the ridiculously fast straight line BMW is coming back through. As Clouden goes to the outside, Shondermeyer defends the inside this time. And again, Sky just not allowing Clouden the space to come back on circuit, which he's right to do so. And Clouden lifts up the inside of turn 4. Meanwhile, all this is going on. They got Nuclear Waste hustling the back of him, and Sky's gone wide, but manages to keep hold of that position. Now Nuclear Waste is getting involved, but he's run a little bit wide there. I think he's got a bit of damage to the back end of his car, ever so slightly as well. But Matthew Duffin put away. Sky's gone wide, so has Clouden. Needs to just got to focus on their fight. They've got to focus on their championship. Meanwhile, Tim Ventink is going to round the outside of O'Reilly here, but he can't quite get the job done. That is a tricky corner to get it done, and he's going to try and do it into the fast right-hander. O'Reilly gives him the space, and Ventink gets the job done on the outside. A beautiful move there from Tim Ventink. Brilliantly done. He's now up into second. Can he do anything about Skunky High? We go back to this fight, and I think Jamal Clouden has lost another position. No, he's not. He's still ahead of the FBR boys, who are really making this a nightmare for any of these championship contenders. It's a shame that Barrett can't make it. And I see you in the chat, buddy. You are missing out on a great fight here between the championship contenders, but Skunky High, though, leading away from Tim Ventink from O'Reilly as we've got 6 minutes left of the session, and Beasley currently 4th and just a little bit off the pace. Then it's Duffin ahead of Shondermeyer, ahead of Clouden, ahead of Nuclear Waste, ahead of Sam, ahead of S2M Burbex, and then Raiden at the back of your pack. but your championship contenders, come on Sky, you have him easy, says the BSP Esports guys. And Sky's back on the rear end of Duffin once again. I really enjoy watching the GT4s, as do I, Tracy. They have been fantastic, and hopefully we can get a much bigger grid and they can stay for the entire season. They've been absolutely brilliant this season. And now we've got the FBR boys going at it, as Nuclear Waste and Sam are fighting out for 8th and 9th place. But Schundelmeyer even closer to Duffin now. He's right in the boot of that Ginetta. No way through there. And once again, Duffin just doing everything he needs to do, parking it on the apex, covering all the lines, making sure he makes his braking zones. Clouden just struggling in this sector at the minute, but the more and more Duffin is holding up Schundelmeyer, the more and more Clouden can try and get onto the back of him. Duffin runs a little bit wide there. Sky Schundelmeyer looking to the outside. And he's tried the outside once. He's got to try and find another way around if he possibly can, because he won't get the job done. He's going to try and get the undercut, but Matt just parks it on the apex. But that might make them both vulnerable to Clouden, who's had a very good exit. Meanwhile, O'Reilly starting to pressurize Ventink once again. But Duffin goes to defend the inside. Schundelmeyer to the outside. They again go towards turn number 1. And Sky Schundelmeyer can't get the job done there. And Clouden running wide as they're very tight in the corners. Meanwhile, Nuclear Waste has lost out to Sam, who's gone wide in turn 1. And Duffin and Clouden and Schundelmeyer all over the place. Maybe Schundelmeyer may make contact with Duffin, and Duffin goes through, and Sky's right there, and Sky makes more contact. And Clouden capitalise, and now there's an FBR car involved. It is now turned on its head even more. The FBR boys really don't care about this championship. I believe that is Nuclear Waste. Yes, it is. Getting and Sam as well. Both of the FBR boys getting involved here. And Sky Schundelmeyer losing out the most out of that. Matt losing out to Clouden. So that's going to change the championship all over. There is not going to be some happy drivers in that one. So let's have a look at the standings now, if it was going to finish this way round. So Jamal Clouden in 5th, Matthew Duffin in 6th, and Sky in 7th. They would go into it. Matthew no way. Jamal Clouden would go into it, championship leader, 1 point ahead of Sky and 2 points ahead of Duffin. Oh my god, this is going to go right down to the wire, ladies and gentlemen, to the very last lap, and the FBR boys are making it an absolute nightmare. Duffin just seems to be struggling a little bit at this stage as Clouden starts to extend the gap. And Matt trying to do everything he possibly can to keep Sky behind him, but he has to stay within reach of Clouden. But he's got 2 FBR boys biting at their ankles. Look at the pair of them. They're like 2 Rottweilers wanting to come through. And Sky Schundelmeyer also, he's the one at risk here. The guys can't watch us. Yoshi in the chat, thank you for the £2 donation. Come on, Matthew Duffin. Thank you very much, mate. That is a fantastic thing to see, as Venting is still under pressure from O'Reilly. I'm sorry we haven't seen the leaders, but this has been the fight for the championship here. And Clouden has pulled away. He's pulled 2.2 away from these two now. So Clouden is in the box seat. Guys, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. The FBR boys seem to have kind of retreated and headed back, as Sky still can't find a way through on Duffin. Leader is on the final lap. Skunky High has pretty much led this from lights to flag and disappeared in the distance. Sorry, you haven't seen much of him. Ventink in 2nd, O'Reilly in 3rd, and Beasley in 4th. That's been your top 4 pretty much the entire race. And Clouden puts himself in a championship position. Duffin and Schundelmeyer. And the FBR boys have set a dramatic final race here at Valencia. Into the final few laps here. as Valentino Rossi in the background watching over this fantastic fight. And right now, Schundelmeyer can't find a way through on Duffin. Clouden managed to capitalise on when they were too busy tripping over one another. And Schundelmeyer looked to the inside of turn 2. Can't get the job done. Nuclear Waste has gone very wide and off circuit. But it's Duffin and Schundelmeyer. This is where the championship could change dramatically. And Schundelmeyer is trying everything. He has thrown the textbook right at Duffin, has given everything he possibly can. What he tried to do last week at Zolder, Matt is succeeding and holding on. But their championship rival, Clouden, has managed to worm his way through. We have to go to the leader, though, Skunky High. What a drive from him. What an end to the season he's had. No ballast, obviously, throughout the rest of the season, but he's going to take another race win, a fastest lap, and a complete domination in this race 1. It has been Skunky High who wins the first race here at Valencia. It is going to be Tim Venting to take second place for PSP Motorsport. O'Reilly will finish in third. Beasley is going to finish in fourth. And it's then still this fight for the championship contenders. It is going to go the way of Jamal Clouden in fifth place in this race. And Sky is going to have to come back for race 2 and try and get it done then. But Jamal Clouden gets himself where he needs to. He gets even closer. 5th place for him. And it's going to be Matthew Duffin who will finish in 6th place position. With Sky Schundelmeyer 7th. 8th is Sam. 9th is Nuclear Waste. S2M Burbeck's 10th. And Raiden in 11th place position. Wow. That was just race 1, ladies and gentlemen. We will be back for some more GT4 action. It has come down to 2 points between the top 3 after that race. It is going to be close. Don't go anywhere. Obviously, Richard Beasley, due to the way it was going to work out, he is now out of the championship. But wow, what a dramatic start to the evening. But we will be back very shortly as we will get race 2 underway. Get yourselves a drink, get yourselves some snacks, and get back, because this is going to be an interesting end to the season. We'll see you in a few moments' time.
challenges to feel your way through the traffic now?
Yeah, Audi is quite faster than us here, so, and yeah, should have to be. Never know.
Thank you very much. Have a good race.
Had to work quite a bit for it. I mean, it's obviously also the new car since this year, so we had to figure out a bit how to work with it and how to get it fast. It's not easy to beat them, but we did a few times, and I think we are where we are. I think we deserve a bit to have these points. We had to work for it, so hopefully we can end it well.
We already have 2 championships in a row, so let's try to make it 3. We know Valencia is a good track for Mercedes, and not so much for the Audi, but we also know we have an evolution from last year. So yeah, let's see how it goes, but I believe if we can just be consistent and just score good points and just do our best, we should be in the mix. So yeah, let's see how it goes, but the goal is definitely to be champion. Yeah.
3 race wins have gone the way of Timo Bogoslawski and Raffaele Marciello this season. Traditionally, they tend to come out on top of race 2, for which Raffaele qualifies. Key to their chances this weekend is going to be the pace of Timo Bogoslawski in the qualifying session and how close to the opposition he can stay in the opening stint of the opening race. For Raffaele Marciello then, this is an important weekend.
Yeah, let's say they're quite strong now. They really good speed. That's a track for their racing, so it will not be easy because even if we win both races and they will do second both races, they still will be champion in sprint. But I mean, there is also overall for me. So I will try to speak with Dries and say you in sprint and you give me overall and endurance. Maybe it can be a good deal.
Early July, Bassano, Silver Cup wrapped up in favour of Pierre-Alexandre Jean and Philippe Chantal. That means they come here with no pressure and are looking for a second outright win of the season. The Ferrari has been the class act within the Silver Cup this year, and the 2 young drivers, one French, one Belgian, have been amongst the standouts of what's been an ultra-competitive sprint cup.
We have nice cars with us, the sun, nice track. We're having fun in the car, so yeah, we always try to have fun, and I think it's the most important. When you take pleasure in the car, the good times always follow. So I think this is part of the secret. Also, we won the silver championship, so this take out a bit of pressure. We still play something on the overall standing, so we have to be focused and do a good job this weekend. But with the silver title, the small pressure went out going this weekend. You don't have a lot of time to rest, as we saw today in the practice. The lap times are pretty close, so it's going to be close tomorrow in qualifying, and it's going to be very important to start in the front. We can still hope for the 3rd place in the championship, so let's hope for a good weekend, some overall podium, a good qualifying tomorrow morning, and let's hope for a good end to the championship.
Louis Machiels and Andrea Bertolini are chasing hard in Pro-Am. They are 20.5 points behind Miguel Ramos and Dean McDonald. And it's another AF Corsa Ferrari team. And success and titles have been accumulated easily over the years by Louis Machiels and Andrea Bertolini. This could be another.
There's a possibility, but with Louis always we fight until the end. And it will be a special weekend one more time. And like we can fight for all the championship. We still on the button, so it will be really tough, like all the competition and every racing weekend.
Ferrari is quite strong, but if you have seen the past season, the McLaren is very strong. Maybe too strong, but no. We are very competitive, so we will fight till the end, as they are told. He's the Italian one, I'm the Belgian one. We are proud of the country, proud of the car, and we will go till the end.
And this is the crew that they are chasing. It is the Garage 59 Brown McLaren, the drivers of which are Miguel Ramos and Dean McDonald, and they have enjoyed a really impressive season. Miguel Ramos, hugely experienced, and Dean McDonald has been another standout this season.
We are leading. Let's hope that this weekend goes well, but still it can happen anything, so it's depending on how it goes the start of the race. If there is
passing, so I think qualifying's key. I think we go into the same year with the same approach as we have done the previous rounds, and yeah, whatever happens, happens, and we'll give it our all.
Now let's just remind ourselves how Sprint Cup within Fanatec GT works. 2 one-hour races, 2 drivers per car, and that means that there is a mandatory pit stop between 25 and 35 minutes of the race. You have to change between 4 wheels and tyres, and if you're in the overall category, there is no minimum pit stop time. There is in Pro-Am 61 seconds. Once those driver changes are completed, the car blasts back onto the circuit. The classes, well, there is the overall situation, which is for the pros. Then you've got the Silver Cup, and there is Pro-Am, which score points within those classes. It means that everybody has something to fight for. Even if you're an AM, you've still got the chance of going home and being on the top step of the podium. This weekend, 26 cars from 6 manufacturers, Audi, Ferrari, Lamborghini, McLaren, Mercedes and Porsche are all off the grid. Fanatec GT World Challenge Europe, powered by AWS, is part of the global competition that is led by Mercedes, AMG, Audi Sport and then Ferrari. The grid is forming then as the cars make their way from the long pit lane round onto the circuits. It's not the sunniest of days, but it's dry, it's warm, and the teams are about to do battle in this penultimate 60-minute race. It could be that the championship overall is decided in this race if the number 32 Audi can outscore the Acodis ASP Mercedes by a further 6 points. They'd have moved it out of reach going into tomorrow's race. But, John Watson, anything can happen in this championship, as we saw in the endurance race 2 weeks ago at Hockenheim.
Well, it's a busy little racetrack. It's 4 kilometres, 2.5 miles approximately, 14 corners, and there's a lot of the racetrack which is open to track limit abuse, and there's been a lot of drivers have been penalised, at times removed.
Green light, go, go, go.
As a consequence of this track limit abuse. So that's something that can have potential add-on penalties at the end of the race. Let's look at the racetrack quickly as they go around. Well, sector 1 is gone, sector 2 is complete, 14 turns. Key to this racetrack is fundamentally circuit.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to SimPlay Motorsport, as we're about to get underway for the final race here for the GT4. As I said, it's only been a short season. We were meant to have the GT2s in the first half of the season, but due to a lack of sign-ups, we ended up bailing on that one. But we ended up running the GT4s, and it has produced some fantastic racing. And I really do hope that we get enough sign-ups next season to run them again. It has been fantastic for them to be here. And whatever happens here this evening, I think all you would agree with me. No matter who is champion here tonight, they would have been a worthy champion indeed. But it is down to 3, and it looks like this. It is now this man who's currently in the pits, Jamal Clouden, your championship leader. He has a narrow lead of 1 point ahead of Matthew Duffin going into this qualifying session, which, reminder as well, if they take pole position, that's an extra point to their name. And then in third place is Sky Strondemeyer, the man who came in with the most points. He now sits 2 points behind Jamal Clouden, a point separating them. Jamal Clouden on 423 points to Matthew Duffin on 422, and then Sky Strondemeyer on 421. That is how close the championship standings are. Richard Beasley, though, has secured his place pretty much in that 4th place position. He sits in 4th in the championship, with Tim Venting now in 5th. In 6th is S2M Burbeck. 7th is O'Reilly. He can still get Burbeck right at the very end, possibly get Venting if anything goes bad for him. With Sam currently in 8th in the championship. Max Mulder 9th. P10 is Raiden, with Holling in 11th. And Skunky High could get Holling and Raiden towards the end of this race. It all depends on how well he goes in this one. Then we've got Barrett sitting in 13th. DJ Phil Green in 14th, Nuclear Waste in 15th, with Senna sitting in that 16th place position. Gary 131 is 17th, 18th is Bell, and 19th is Goudet. 20th is Croupiers, 21st is Gray. Kimberly is in 22nd, Diz in 23rd, Michael in 24th, Devil in 25th, Cardoff in 26th, and in 27th position is Wasaki. And like I said, it all comes down to this. It's pretty much who finishes first now. So it is pretty much down to this final race and this final qualifying session here this evening. I believe it will be Beasley to first assess a lap time round here. And like I said, it's been a fantastic season. Nonetheless, it's been awesome to watch these GT4s, but also it's been awesome to watch the GT3s as well, Pro-Am and Pro. It's been a fantastic season, and this calendar really has been a brilliant calendar at that. And we are currently underway looking at possibly getting our new calendar underway. Sky Strundermeyer sets the pace of a 140.3. Sam comes across the line in second place, with Tim Venting next to come across the line. He crosses the line with no valid lap time to his name. Then it's going to be S2M Burbex. The lovely thing about this camera, I can see who is the next car as S2M Burbex goes into third. Raiden next towards the line. And we have allowed the drivers to vote for a circuit that they want to see on the calendar. So at the minute, there is a poll going out in the Discord as O'Reilly goes into second. There is a poll in the Discord of what you guys would love to see next season on the grid, and it is voted by you guys, the drivers. And at the minute, Kyle Army looking like the favourite at this stage. But obviously the admins get to pick the circuits as well, while the rest will be randomly picked on a wheel. Third place goes the way of Duffin. Then it is Skunky High. Been looking good all night. Has he gone fastest overall? No. Lap time to his name. Then it is Nuclear Waste next to come towards the line. And then I believe it's Jamal Clouden next to complete a lap time. But Nuclear Waste, no lap time on the board. It is then down to Clouden. And just to give you a rough idea of what the next calendar is looking like, obviously this is not the order, this is what the admins have chosen. And you're more than welcome to try and guess who voted what. But at the minute, the admins have picked Snetterton, Mount Panorama, Suzuka, Donington Park, and Autumn Park. As BZ now goes within 2/10 of Sky Strundermeyer, who looks like he's backed or gone into the pits and got some extra fuel on board or whatever. He's just recouped. And Tim Venting now sets the pace. This is a BSP 1-2. There is S2M Burbex in the background. But you will be seeing those 5 circuits next season. Snetterton, we haven't been there in a while. It's Mount Panorama making a return. Bathurst, Suzuka also making a return. Donington Park and Autumn Park also coming back to the calendar this season. Clouden back in the pit. O'Reilly to the line. Can't quite find any more time at this stage. Who's now next to the line? I believe it's the 55 of Duffin. Yes, it is. And as I'm looking at the votes at the minute, like I said, Kyle Army is winning the votes. 3 more days yet to vote. So if you guys haven't voted yet on the Discord, then please get yourself voted in. And if you are a Patreon as well, you also get a bigger say on what you want to see on the calendar. But Matthew Duffin still sat in that 6th place position. Doesn't seem to have the 1 lap pace that the guys seem to have. But Skunky High has taken the pole position at the minute. 14 thousandths ahead of Tim Venting. Beasley just invalidated his lap time. Sky starts at another lap here. Who is that behind Beasley? That is Sam. Currently 8th at the minute and gone off. And then it is the 43 of Tim Venting next to come to the line. Please, guys, if you haven't done so, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel as well. And if you're if you are as I can't speak now. And if you are as kind as Yoshi, then feel free to put a donation in the chat as well. Be great to see from you guys. But Tim Venting across the line, no improvement there. As we see O'Reilly come to the line, and he now goes into P3. Strundermeyer falling closer to his championship contenders. Who's then next to come to a line? That is a car that has invalidated his lap time. And it is Jamal Clouden. That is still not got a lap time on the board. Your championship leader struggling to get a lap time. Skunky High comes across the line and no improvement. And then it's Sky Schondermeyer. He's currently 3/10 off. No improvement from him either. We then see Nuclear Waste coming to the line. Matthew Duffin just back in the pits. Nuclear Waste, no improvement. And it's all about nailing the lap around here. We then look to venting the next one on a lap. While you're there and you're on the channel, then please head into the description. And there you can find our Facebook page. Head over to our Facebook page and also our Discord. As like I said, we're going to have a 5-week break. So get yourselves back in the server. Get yourself signed up on SimGrid and also on Discord. Get your hot stints done and we can get you on ready for the new season for GT3s and possibly the return of GT4s once again. But make sure you get involved because I think we're going to be doing a lot more next season. So yeah, follow our Twitter page and also our TikTok as well. And Tim Venting coming towards the line, no improvement from him. Then it's Sam coming to the line. And cars coming thick and fast, no improvement for Sam. What's S2M Borobeck's got? A little improvement, but nothing really to put him any higher. And that is O'Reilly, I believe, coming to the line. And no improvement, Skunky High back into the pits. And that is it for lap times at the minute. I believe that is Jamal Clouden on an out lap. Still not got a lap time on the board, which is going to start making him a little bit worried. He finally gets one. He only goes 8th though. So the BMW looking like it's struggling at this stage. While you're also in the description, head over to our fantastic sponsors, Design Manchester, producers of vinyl graphics, laser engraved gifts, mugs and printed clothing and much more, including SimPlay merch. And also head over to Audiosport, manufacturers of Volkswagen Transporter T4 solutions and styling products, www.audiosport.co.uk, and their Facebook, same with Design Manchester as well. As cars are coming on their final few runs now, 5 minutes left of the session and our final qualifying session of the GT4 season, and at the minute is going the way of Skunky High. And guys, I will also get your votes later on for driver of the season. It's been a fantastic season for the return of the GT4s. O'Reilly going through turn 1. There's a few guys coming to complete a lap time. Sky Schondermeyer, no improvement, stays where he is at this stage. But a man who really needs to get his something in gear at the minute has to be Jamal Clouden, currently 8th and leading the championship. Obviously, the ballast stuck to when we came here, so Sky is still carrying the most weight. Even though he's 3rd in the championship, he will still have to carry that weight throughout the race. Obviously, we can't just reset and do it all over again. He will just have to keep going, which to me, it didn't look like it was holding him up. Jamal Clouden, though, is on a valid lap time. And he needs to get ahead of Duffin at least. And he does. He gets 3/10 ahead of Matthew Duffin. And Skunky Eye comes to the line now. No improvement. There's a car off. That was Nuclear Waste. And he is back to the pits. But he should be able to get back out if he's quick enough. It's then Richard Beasley into the final corner. Anything that Beasley can do. No improvement, stays where he is. And Beasley looking to finish his season on a high. Who else is currently on a lap? No one's really on a valid lap. I mean, they're really trying to push the limits here by the looks of things. Duffin, no improvement. Schondermeyer does improve, but doesn't go any higher than 4th place. So we could possibly find a little bit more pace in that car. Who's in that final corner? It's the 96 of Sam. And he can spoil the party. He gets a little bit closer to Duffin. Duffin did improve, but not by much. Matt's never really been the qualifier. He tends to do it more in the race. And we see the 36 of Jamal Clouden in the final corner. Your bottom 3 are looking like they are done for the session. Like I said, invalid lap time, so Jamal Clouden does not improve. The next car that is on a valid lap is Richard Beasley. And Sky's done. Sky Shondomaya's done. Well, Skunky High has improved. He's going to the 39, so Skunky High stamping his authority here. Meanwhile, Beasley ran very, very wide, and he's going to lose out here as Ventink now comes towards the line. And no improvement there from him. What can O'Reilly do? The fellow Ginetta driver, he's currently just 3/10 off the back. And no improvement either. This is going to be it. Matt is probably going to start his final lap here. He is on a valid lap time. He's currently 1.4 off the pace. Has he found any more time? No, he has not. This is it for Matthew Duffin. Jamal Clouden on a lap. Sky is done. O'Reilly still out there, as is Ventink. So this is it. Matt's going to be your last man to complete a lap time. Clouden is coming up invalid, but it might not be. Excuse me. These guys have made me talk a lot this evening. But into the final sector comes Jamal Clouden. Possibly going for 2 titles in one season. Is he going to get that job done here tonight? That is the question. 1.1 off the pace. Is he going to get another lap time on the board? He will get one more attempt at this. As Duffin is on a lap, as is Kieran O'Reilly, as Ventink is done. Can Ventink hang on to that second, or has O'Reilly got a little bit more still left in him? And you can see he's pushing. He's really pushing the limits of that Ginetta. Right on the ragged edge, right on the limit. That is the end of the session. It is still Skunky High, but has O'Reilly got some form of pace left in him? As he comes to the line now, it is going to be no improvement. He stays third. This is what we're looking for. Matthew Duffin exits the final corner. Can he at least get a little bit closer to Sky Shundlemeier? Towards the line he comes. He does improve, but stays where he is. And Jamal Clouden looks like he's running wide. Or it's probably his line. Nope, it is his line. So Jamal Clouden into the final few corners here. Has he just got one last burst of energy to try and get closer to Sky? Into the final sector he comes. The BMW driver, your championship leader going into this race. Into the final corner he comes. And he needs to have a good exit here. Come on, Sky and Tim, says the esports drivers of BSP. And Jamal Clouden is done. Then it is Skunky High who takes the final pole position here, but it goes to Sky Shundlemeier. Guys, get your votes in on who you think is going to win this title. I'll get to the halfway point of this race. This is your last chance to vote. Is it going to be Sky? Is it going to be Clouden? Or is it going to be Duffin? It has come down to just 2 points against the top 3 in this title. It has been a fantastic season. It's been a great night of racing so far here at Valencia, and we look forward to more tomorrow night for the Pro-Ams and also for the pros as well, where one championship is still up for grabs. Only 2 titles left. Only 2. It is tonight's GT4 and tomorrow's is all done and dusted. Max Mulder is your champion in Pro-Am. Your Constructors champion was a BSP Esports. But it's going to be either myself, Dan Davis, or Jamal Clouden to be a champion. One's an 8-time champ. One has not won a title. He might be a 1-time champ going into Thursday night. All the pressure, though, it is on Jamal Clouden, your championship leader. But like I said, Sky got the start. Is he going to have his fellow BSP driver of Tim Ventink going to help him out? Or is Tim Ventink going for the glory? Who knows? But it's the Ginetta of Skunky High on the front row. They are not going to care whatsoever. Let's go, Greasy Bandits, Clouden. Sorry, one more race Come on, Clouden in the chat from Hypertech, the leader of the Greasy Bandits team. And then obviously Yoshi in the chat. One more race. Come on, Matthew Duffin. One more race for the GT4s, but we've still got 4 more races to come. Pro-Am and Pro, Wednesday and Thursday night. BMW versus Aston versus Ginetta. 3 completely different manufacturers going for the title. And like I said, guys, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell to be notified so you don't miss any of the action here. We have got 2 events in the off-season coming your way. We've got our Endurance Championship, which we are continuing on. We are going at Spa, and Yoshi will be bringing you all the action there from Spa-Francorchamps in Belgium, and it'll be exciting to see the Endurance Championship back once again. Can the BSP boys carry on winning their ways as they won last time out at Imola with Tim Ventink and myself as the BSP Motorsport? But it's all still up for grabs here at Spa. And then we've also got our regular event that we've seemed to just adapted since a couple of seasons ago. We got our Gran Turismo Nations Cup event. Obviously, Gran Turismo has its own Nations Cup, and we decided to make our own version here at SimPlay Motorsport, and we will be having them back once again. And yeah, we'll see what nation will be on top. We should hopefully have Sky Schundermeyer back for that one, defending as Team Switzerland. Possibly we should have Fury CBK as well coming back for Team Australia, I believe, and then it's up for grabs for anybody else. I believe the Volkswagen Scirocco's are going to be the car of choice. So very good little cars, great touring cars, and a calendar yet to be confirmed. 5 races flat out, just like the Ginettas, the GT4s. It is just fast and furious and just a right giggle. So if you do have Gran Turismo 7, get it downloaded now. It is great fun. It is just a giggle. It does get streamed, and yeah, it is just a load of fun. But we will get things underway for that one. And then, like I said, season 6 is just going to be around the corner. 5 circuits already confirmed, possibly a 6th ready to be confirmed, and maybe a 7th, and then we will spin the rest and see what comes up. But we get things underway here as Skunky High and Tim Ventink will take to the front. Guys, if you do want any suggestions in the chat, or you do want to be a part of the team here at SimPlay Motorsport, head over to the Discord, head over to the suggestions feedback, and also head over to the job application. Obviously, you do not get paid for it. It is all voluntary. It's a part of the community. If you want to be a steward, a commentator, or just helping in general of the channel, then please fill in that form. But here we are for the final time for the GT4s here at Valencia. Who's going to be champion? We wait for the green.
Green line. Give it all you got.
And we are go here at Valencia for the final time in GT4 action. And it's Sky Schundermeyer already putting O'Reilly under pressure as they head up towards turn number 1. But Ventink is just going to slot in between the 2 Ginettas as Clouden goes around the outside of Sky Schundermeyer there and back into Clouden's hands, and he's attacking the leader straight away, and Duffin having to stick with them as best he possibly can. And once again, your championship 3 are all together. Meanwhile, Ventink is going to try and stick with Skunky High as best he possibly can, and Sky Schundermeyer sends it up the inside and gets the job done on Clouden, but Clouden makes contact and it's in the hands of Duffin. Sky gets turned back around by Beasley. So Clouden there spinning Sky Schundermeyer, but Sky has managed to come back. Can Sky dig deep and work his way back through the order? Beasley's gone wide, but it's Skunky High from Ventink, from O'Reilly, from Duffin, from Clouden, from Nuclear Waste. He's looking to attack at Clouden. Then it was Beasley, but he's dropped back, and Sky's dropped right to the back of the pack. He's just ahead of Raiden, but he's now just cleared Beasley as well, so he's made another position back up. Burbeck's drops behind him as well. So Ventink's gone very wide. He's in the gravel. So it's back to the Ginetta. 1-2. Skunky High from O'Reilly, from Duffin now, from Ventink, from Clouden, from Nuclear Waste, from Sam, from Schundermeyer, from Beasley, from STM Burbeck, from Raiden. But that has really put us a cat amongst the pigeons here. Tracy and the BSP guys are not happy They are not happy, but Sky can come back. His championship leaders are within reach, and he had the pace over Duffin. He is the leading car. Now Ventink is going to put pressure on him as O'Reilly is coming to try and attack the back of Skunky High. So Ventink can try and take points away here. As Tim Ventink looking to the inside of turn 2. And Duffin wants nothing to do with that. Duffin still fighting out though. He's going to stay to the inside. I don't know if this is going to be wise racing against Tim Ventink. But Ventink goes around the outside and gets the job done. Matthew Duffin drops back down to 4th. And Clouden now on the back of Duffin, and already you can see Schundelmeyer is attacking the FBR boys, and he gets up the inside of one of them and he pushes his way past Sam. So Sam now falls back behind the Aston Martin. And now Sky's only got one more car to clear to get back with his championship contenders. Meanwhile, Ventink is in lead of this group, but O'Reilly is coming back for the race leads. Up towards the final sector they go. The two Ginettas gone into the distance. It is then Tim Ventink who's ahead of Duffin, who's ahead of Clouden, and then it's Nuclear Waste and Sky Schundelmeyer who's on a mission to try and catch him. Clouden, championship leader, looking to the outside of Duffin, but he can't quite get the job done. And Clouden now with that monstrous BMW straight line advantage. Matthew Duffin's going to try and use the slipstream of the Aston Martin, but as you can see, Clouden just out-drags the Ginetta. But Sky is coming back slowly. Is Ventink kind of being a bit of a mobile chicane right now, holding them all up so Sky can get a little bit closer once again. Nuclear Waste is now in between him and his championship rivals. And Clouden is right up the rear wing of Tim Ventink. Your Ginettas have disappeared. And Duffin now looking to make a move on Clouden. He looks up the inside, and Sky Schundelmeyer has spun Nuclear Waste round. And Duffin back up the inside of Jamal Clouden. The problem is here, Sky is making contact with a few of the back markers, and he does not want a penalty from these guys. And Sky Schundelmeyer has cleared Jamal Clouden. So Sky Schundelmeyer back up with his championship contenders. Richard Beasley, meanwhile, was right on the back of him as well. And we saw Beasley was very fast in race 1, had the pace. And Tim Ventink now really starting to become a little bit of a mobile chicane. But meanwhile, the two Ginettas are loving life out in front. 9-10 separating them, and all to play for those guys. Meanwhile, Ventink is still ahead of this squabble. Matthew Duffin staying to the right-hand side, and Sky's going to send it up the inside. And he gets the job done on Duffin. And Sky Schundelmeyer up into the position he needs to be in. Going into the final few laps here, and Tim Ventink now, is he going to allow Sky through? Is he going to fight him through? Jamal Clouden's going to go around the outside on Matthew Duffin. He runs wide. And Sky Schundelmeyer now is coming under pressure from Matthew Duffin. Beasley, meanwhile, doesn't know if to get involved or not. And there's cars absolutely everywhere. Richard Beasley looking to try and make a move on Jamal Clouden, but can't find a way through. And Tim Ventink's made contact with Duffin. And Matthew Duffin has spun Tim Ventink round and dropped him back. Jamal Clouden's now dropped behind. And that's allowed all these guys to go through. Sky Schundelmeyer is still leading this squabble of cars. Matt is now into 4th. Jamal Clouden's 5th, and Richard Beasley and Tim Ventink going at it. And Richard Beasley going to try and go around the outside. And Tim Ventink trying to do everything he possibly can to stay ahead of Beasley. And Jamal Clouden now on the back foot. But Sky Schundelmeyer leading this squabble of cars. Meanwhile, O'Reilly is just matching Skunky High for the race lead. The two Ginettas off and away. And it looks like they're going to pull a decent gap from the cars behind. So it's now Sky in third, Matthew Duffin in fourth. Clouden has dropped behind Tim Venting, so Venting has managed to work his way back past the BMW driver. Now Richard Beasley's involved. Is Richard going to send it up the inside? Not there, he isn't, as Matthew Duffin one's wide in turn one. Reminder as well, guys, Sky is still carrying the full weight. It is being a little bit scrappy from these guys, and you can tell by the damage on their cars. And Sky is pulling away. Clouden is dropped back down into the pack, and he's got Beasley breathing down his neck. What would this do to the championship? Well, pretty much it would go the way of Sky at this stage. Like I said, he's just dropped into the pack now. Has Clouden. That would put this would put Sky Schundermeyer as champion, and Duffin would finish second, with Jamal Clouden in third as it sits right now. Venting though is coming back for Duffin. Meanwhile, the fight at the front has come down to 6/10. We go back to your race leaders. And Skunky High and O'Reilly going at it for the race win here. And Sky Schundermeyer in third place, doing everything he needs to do at this stage to be champion. But obviously, I'm going to have to say he's going to be champion on the road. But we will see. Obviously, there will be penalties possibly in place, but we do not know. Obviously, it depends if the drivers put it in. So provisionally, it will be champion at this stage. We do want it to go to a steward's decision, as Sam is now attacking Beasley up the inside. A cheeky little move there from him, and Esteban Burbeck still ahead of Nuclear Waste. And Sam gets that job done on Beasley, but Beasley tries to get the undercut and can't get that done. So as it stands right now, Schundermeyer will be champion. We go back to your Ginetta fight, and Skunky High's gone a little bit deep there, and O'Reilly's up the inside. Majority reckon that Clouden will be champion. Well, not at the end of this race. We will find out who will be champion. But these two having their own little scrap. Skunky High and O'Reilly going at it. They've managed to kind of maintain the gap to the rest of the pack and pull away. And Sky in third, Matthew Duffin. And Tim Venting's gone very wide in the background. That's possibly going to allow... No, not quite, as Clouden tries to get onto the back of him. Can Duffin do anything about Sky Schundermeyer? That is the question. He is going to be pushing like mad. Don't jinx Sky. I'm not jinxing him. We are halfway through this race. The majority reckon that Jamal Clouden will win this title. Matthew Duffin's gone wide in the background. That's going to lose him time and momentum. But this fight between the two Ginettas is hotting up massively right now. Pride on who's going to win the last race of the season. Meanwhile, Nuclear Waste is still trying to find a way through on Esteban Burbeck. Beasley has cleared Sam, and Venting is trying to get onto the back of Duffin once again, but Clouden is going with him. Venting going through the chicane, Duffin trying to hunt him down. But the two Ginettas, we got obviously the fight for the championship. And the fight for the last race win of the day. This is turning out to be a very dramatic race here at Valencia. But what more can you expect from the GT4s? It's always been dramatic this season. And Sky is still pulling away from Duffin, who's actually got Tim Venting breathing down his neck. And Jamal Clouden has got Beasley's breathing down his neck. So Sky's got it all under control. But Tim Venting up the inside of Duffin, and Duffin losing out there to Tim Venting, and up another place goes Tim Venting, and Matt drops further down.
And the team were very impressed by his approach and the way that he has delegated his own responsibilities.
And as you can see there, Matt's just losing out to the Aston Martins here. Now Jamal Clouden is back on Duffin once again, as my ping has gone through the roof, and I don't know why. We're not going to get another server lag, are we? Oh, it looks like it seems to have calmed itself down. And Sky's internet looking a bit laggy as well, but he's still here, he's still on track at the minute. But it's still Skunky High leading the way from O'Reilly in second. As they now come into the final sector here, O'Reilly can't seem to get the job done here. Meanwhile, Beasley is back on Clouden. Clouden's lost out to Duffin here. And Beasley can't find a way through. Tim Bentinck is pulling away. And Skunky High and O'Reilly got this race in hand at the minute. If they don't trip over themselves, they've pretty much got the race to themselves. And Sky Schundermeyer in a secure position to win the title for Team Bentinck in fourth. Fifth is Duffin. Sixth is Clouden. Seventh is Beasley. Sam is in that eighth place. S2M Borobex in ninth. He's fighting with Nuclear Waste. Up the inside goes S2M Borobex, and Raiden at the back of the pack there. And S2M Borobex holds on to that position. Right now, Clouden under some immense pressure from the cars behind. Meanwhile, these two have had it pretty easy so far this race, but Skunky High looking like the man to beat. He had a pretty poor race in Zolder. Sadly missed out on race 2. But it is coming down to this. Skunky High still with the fastest lap to his name as well. But O'Reilly in second. Schundermeyer third. Bentinck fourth. Duffin fifth. Clouden not able to stick with Duffin. He's still got Beasley right up his backside, and Sam as well. So this is your closest fight on track at the minute. And this is where you can see the weight starting to take form. The two Aston Martins behind weightless. Well, Sam's weightless, but Beasley is much lighter than Clouden. But obviously that BMW straight line advantage saves it. O'Reilly got a little bit closer once again. Seems to be a little bit quicker in the race than Skunky High. More consistent by the looks of things. Is anything going to come of this? Meanwhile, Beasley still can't seem to find a way through on the BMW driver of Jamal Clouden. And Beasley bouncing over the curb. Sam right behind him as well. And Jamal Clouden and Matthew Duffin's got a little bit wide going up into that left-hander. Beasley just trying to find a way through without making contact to him. Skunky High, meanwhile, still trying to defend off O'Reilly. They've only got a couple of laps left. And who is going to win this final race of the season? It is down between the two Ginettas, and Skunky High's gone wide there. O'Reilly might have an opportunity here. He's into the slipstream. Come back to him momentarily because Beasley looked like he was close. Is he going to send it up the inside of the final corner? He's up the inside, but Clouden blocks it off. Meanwhile, go back to O'Reilly, who gets right underneath the wing of Skunky High. They both run wide. And into the second corner they go. And O'Reilly just can't seem to prise the door open. And meanwhile, Clouden's getting a push by Beasley here. And right now, Clouden's spending more time looking in his rear view than going forward. As we get a poll out for driver of the day. And Jamal Clouden still trying to defend. Meanwhile, Skunky High and O'Reilly. Guys, get your votes in on driver of the day, and then we'll go to driver of the season. But Skunky High is trying to hang in there as O'Reilly starts to put some pressure on him. Meanwhile, Jamal Clouden has brought the gap down to Duffin. 0.8 a second separating those two. And Beasley right up behind them as well. You see the Genettas in the background. And here they come, the two Genettas. They will start their final lap here. The final lap of GT4 action. And Skunky High is hanging in there. Sky Schundermeyer will start his final lap here at Valencia. He's made a gap of 4.6 seconds to Tim Ventink. And Matthew Duffin now only a second ahead of Jamal Clouden, who's got Beasley right behind him. Can Beasley find any way through? Is he going to send up the inside into turn one? No, he does not. And there we go. Clouden runs wide. That's Beasley looking up the inside. And Beasley and Clouden are going at it. And Clouden has lost out. Beasley goes through. Is Sam going to look through now? And Beasley separates him and Matt. Meanwhile, O'Reilly and Skunky High. Last lap here. Last chance for O'Reilly. The two Genettas going out for the final win of the season. Get your votes for driver of the day. It has got to go the way of these two, because these two have been fantastic out in front. Skunky High and on, or O'Reilly. This is O'Reilly's last opportunity, the last corner. Is he going to send it up the inside? Has Skunky High done enough? He's going to defend the inside. O'Reilly looks to the outside. He's going to try and get the undercut. Try and get the swoop, but he can't do it. And it is going to be Skunky High who wins the final race of the season ahead of O'Reilly. A brilliant race from those two. But on track at the moment, your provisional champion, it is Sky Schundelmeyer who crosses the line in third. It is going to be Tim Ventink to finish in fourth place position. Matthew Duffin will cross the line to finish fifth and second in the title. Beasley crosses sixth. Clouden will finish in seventh and third in the title. Eighth will go the way of Sam. Ninth will go the way of S2M Borobex. And I'll say that Nuclear Waste has gone very wide in the final corner. But S2M Borobex crossing the line. Nuclear Waste finishing in 10th, and Raiden will finish in 11th place position. But your provisional champion, as it stands, it is Sky Schundelmeyer. But like I said, there could possibly be some penalties to hand out. Who knows? It depends if they get put into the chat. But nonetheless, it has been Sky Schundelmeyer who wins the title. But it's Skunky High who wins the final race of the season. And obviously we don't tend to have Sky in the chat, but we will try and get Matthew Duffin and Jamal Clouden to come in if they're willing to come in. But what a dramatic end to the season. It's probably, like I said, this is a provisional standings. It is Sky Schundelmeyer champion from Matthew Duffin in second, and third Jamal Clouden. But like I said, this is just provisional. All depends on what happens regarding any penalties to be addressed. I will get the rest of the order popped in as we do get your top two from the season. And like I said, I'll just get the final standings put in. We will start with Jamal Clouden. And Jamal, GT4 seem to have just slipped out of your hands tonight. Looks like a bit of a rough race for the final race this season. But yeah, bit of elbows out racing that one.
Yeah, I mean, I was just struggling all week. I'm not even going to deny that. I can only literally lock in one good lap and then that's it. The car just goes, yep, bye. Tyres just left the chat. So yeah, it was just a real struggle of a race this week.
Obviously, at first it did look like it was going your way. You took the championship lead going into the second race. So yeah, just got a bit bullied out there by the looks of things.
Yeah, just a tad, and then I had that collision with Sky, and I did say that if he does catch up behind me, I said I will let him back through because just thought I'd just make it fair because I couldn't be asked to get a penalty. But hey ho, that's racing. You know, that's racing.
That is racing. Obviously, we talk about the BMW quickly. How's it been, the BMW? Obviously, maybe a return for GT4s next season. It would be nice to see you return back. But how have you found the GT4 the GT4s in general and the BMW?
The BMW, I have to admit, the BMW holds its own considering that its weakest point is the corners. Like I have to give it credit to the BM. The BM's just an incredible machine, but definitely you'll see me again in the GT4 Championship in the future for sure. Definitely.
Staying in the BMW?
Maybe, we'll see. I mean, there's a couple of cars out there that I've been testing out, so we'll see.
Obviously, we will have to talk about the more important thing, the one that you're probably going for more than anything, Thursday night. Obviously,
yes.
It's kind of difficult for me to talk about this with you because it's me and you going for the title. But what are your chances on Thursday night? Can you do it? Can you beat me around this circuit? And how has progression gone? I'm not going to ask too much because I know you want to keep your cards close to your chest. But how's the McLaren feeling? How's everything feeling going into Thursday night?
All I'm going to say is game on. That's all I'm going to say, game on.
Well, Clouden's obviously holding his cards close to his chest. I'm also holding mine. I don't think he's actually seen me on track yet. But either way, congratulations tonight on Clouden and third in the championship. Just not quite enough this season. But nonetheless, we would love to see you back in the GT4s.
Thank you.
And we move to Matthew Duffin. And the same question to you, Matt. Obviously, a bit of a rough and tumble here this evening. Really had to get your elbows out. The Ginetta looked under power in a straight line. Probably feel a bit disheartened in that one.
Disheartened's not the right word. Disheartened's not the right word. Cheated is the right word.
Obviously, this has been the only championship you could run this season. How has the GT4s been? Have you enjoyed it?
It's been fun. It's been really fun. I've enjoyed it. It's been really good. Every race. The race one with Tibbs, man, was quality. You know, took all the touring cars knowledge I had to sort of keep Tibbs behind me in that first race. Sean Dunbar did really well. Hats off to him. But yeah, no, enjoyed the season. Been a really fun season. It's just, yeah.
I mean, like I said, the championship is at the minute a provisional championship. There's still possibly anything could happen in the in general Discord, but you've got to be happy with your season overall. Though you've only one win this season. It's been pretty much a pointsy season for yourself.
Yeah, pointsy. You know, made two mistakes with underfueling twice at two different races. Probably would have been a different story coming into this one, but I picked an underpowered car. Obviously, I like the Ginetta British car, things like that. So. Give it a chance, give it a try, but I feel like I let myself down in two races. race 2 tonight, and then the rest of the season's just been fantastic, really. As I said to you earlier in the year, I see why you enjoyed them on the PS4, because these cars are so fun to drive. Obviously, it's a shame we didn't get Fiore out there. It's a shame we didn't get Gary each week. It's a shame, a few others couldn't make each week to make the grids a bit fuller, because these things are phenomenal. I really enjoy these things. I really love these things. They're brilliant.
I think obviously next season we're going to have to possibly looking for bringing them back once again, possibly 3 races like the touring cars genuinely do. But obviously it's still yet to decide what happens next season between myself and you. But if things work out, would you possibly make a return to the GT4s?
Yeah, I think at the moment, the way my sim rig is at the moment, I'm not sure on what the racing's going to be. Obviously, me and you's going to have discussions off in the next 5 weeks and see what the plan is. The short races, I think it's easier for the rig holding up. I need a new one, but baby on the way and things, it's money's occupied elsewhere for other stuff. So yeah, I think the shorter races, that if I don't end up racing GT3s or whatever comes, short races seem brilliant to, and I'll definitely come back in the GT4s. Maybe probably pick, look at maybe the Mercedes or give the Chevy a good run out, good powerful cars, and see what I could do with them. But no, it's probably not the end of the Ginetta. It just depends on the tracks, I suppose. Maybe I went in, Zandvoort was really my best race, I'd say, first and a third with a car that was suited to that circuit. I'd say Laguna Seca was a level playing field, and I was able to show the pace and potential of the Ginetta. You can't knock what Tibbs has done this season, though. It's a big hats off to him and to Clouden. They've pushed me all the way. Richard Beasley, if he didn't miss a couple of races, he'd have probably been here tonight in this championship fight. Max has had a good season as well. It's a shame not all the drivers can drive at the front and drive respectfully and whatnot. But I tell you, the two that I really want to give a massive shout out for came in late. Skunky High and O'Reilly. Boy, have they put on a good performance in that Ginetta. They've shown what it can do, and if they'd have been here at the start of the season, this championship probably goes to maybe one of them two, because they have been phenomenal. They
have indeed, and obviously we primarily brought the GT4s back in to test basically the ballast and to see how well it would work. But I would say it's been a very good success for these cars. They've been fantastic, and it's worked very well.
I think you see, Dan, we're British touring car fans. Obviously, they've dropped the ballast. They've gone to a hybrid system now, so it's changed the way it works. But we sort of implemented that. We came up with our own system for a top 8, which I think, has been phenomenal. Tibbs hasn't had it easy every week when he's run 40 kilos. I didn't have it easy last week when I ran 40 kilos. Max didn't have it easy when he ran 40. And I think you have seen that mixed bag of grids. Look at tonight's results. You've got Tibbs, who's gone 40 kilos and drove really well. Clouden's 10 kilos lighter, didn't have as good a night. Richard Bealey's lighter as well. He's in the mix. It's just, I think, when you get bigger grids, more competitive grids, it will really mix the field up. I think while you've got these short grids, you're not seeing what the ballast is truly doing. Do you know what I mean? I think when the grids are bigger size, you get to see that full potential of the ballast. With the reverse grid as well, you're at the back 40 kilos. Tips tonight come from, all right, 11th place tonight, but you think on a 30 car grid, come from 30 if we thought 40 kilos on a track like this or Monza or something like that. That ain't the easiest thing to do with the weight.
Yeah, definitely so, and I think it's worked very well. And like you said, if you had a full grid properly doing the entire season, it would make a big effect, and especially on big heavy circuits as well. This would really, like a circuit like Bathurst, would really definitely make these cars work hard. Obviously, going into the week, Matt. Obviously, I'm going to bring your opinion on the rest of the week, especially Thursday night, because 2 drivers are up for the title, and one of them's myself. So. Let's talk about the rest of the week. Obviously, tomorrow night will be the Pro-Am. They're pretty much done and dusted, but obviously the final position is still yet to play in place, and obviously Thursday night is the big night.
Yeah, Thursday night's the big night. Dan and Clouden going at it. It's going to be an absolute belter, 42 points in it. You're not going to want to miss this championship fight. I've covered many a championship fight over the seasons of Dan Davis's. This is Clouden's first or second, because of tonight. It's going to be an honour to commentate on his first. Obviously, doing the job I do, I've been able to commentate on some, very top esports races and their championships. This one, I think, is one of the most intense ones I've seen going into that final day. Championships I've covered, they've all been done before the final week. This one going into the final day is tense, because I know from the outside looking in that it is very close in terms of what it could be. We're hoping for a good grid number. I think that's going to make things even more interesting. If we get a good grid size, I think that's going to make things interesting between yourselves. But you're not going to want to miss Thursday night, 8 p.m. GMT +1 with myself and Phil Raiden for the final time at this Valencia circuit. Dan Davis versus Jamal Clouden. And like you say, we're going to tomorrow night. Dan, this place is up for grabs, both in constructors, both in the Drivers' Championship. It's going to be an interesting one. We saw a great race at Zolder in the Pro-Ams, looking for that same race again. Max Mulder's got nothing to play for realistically, so he can, he's already won that championship. BSP have already won that constructors. They can just go off and do what they need to do.
It's more probably going to get Venting back up into the podium positions in the final standings.
Yeah, I think he dropped to third, didn't he? And Richie Michelle separates them. But Richie Michelle's not going to be a slouch. He's going to want that second place. He's really got better as this season's gone on. I think both nights look fantastic and look lined up to be crackers.
And Valencia is going to give you all that action. It's been fantastic for the GT4s. It's been fantastic having these guys. As I say at the minute, provisionally, Sky Shundermeyer is your champion. Matthew Duffin finishing in second and Jamal Clouden in third. Clouden came up short, but is he going to come out on top on Thursday night? Make sure you tune in for that. Can Venting finally get himself back in the top two with his teammate? That is a question as well. Driver of the day went to Skunky High in the votes, and I'm going to have to voice that as well. Skunky High for me was driver of the day. O'Reilly was absolutely brilliant as well. A driver of the season, guys. That vote is currently gone out at the minute, and it looks like it's going the way of Jamal Clouden in the votes. Currently 5 votes at the minute. Sky in second. Back third, but either way, I can't really separate the three of them. All three have been fantastic this season. They've all been brilliant wherever we've been to, and like I said, Sky and Matt have only had one race win each, and they both come out in the top part of the podiums. But nonetheless, it has been a fantastic night's worth of racing. That is it for the GT4s. They may make a return next season. We will see. But nonetheless, I've been Dan Davis. This has been SimPlay Motorsport, and Sky Shundermeyer is your GT4 champion here at SimPlay Motorsport. We will catch you tomorrow night for the Pro-Ams with myself and Matthew Duffin. And that is it from me. Good night.